Good Saturday morning to you guys. Another TRC video coming up. What are we using? Zingariman Magician. TRC TTO coming right up for you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Razor Company video with me, the inspector, Dave Fernicola. It's great to be back with you guys again. Did last week's video. I'm going to do another one today. And so this is interesting. Here we are in April, and spring is really setting in, and decided to go with a great soap. This is Zingariman Magician. It screams green to you, and it really does. It's like being in a meadow with a green moss, all that stuff. It's really excellent. I gotta say, this brand of soap is becoming really one of my favorites. I think I might have used it a couple of years ago, but Heather Melton, she makes great soaps, and this is one of them. I got more coming down the line. I already did one last week. So I do have the matching recovery splash. I'll put this on after I hop in the shower, but I do have this and I will use it. What are we using today for razor? Well, one of my favorite twist to open razors is there happens to be the Razor Company twist to open. And you say, why? I mean, I've got many twist to open razors, but this happens to be one of my absolute favorites. First of all, I have a Rise blade in here. That's the second use on that. Got from the Razor Company, Rise blade, okay? And here we go. You can see it in there. All right, and very easy operation. Twists down really well, but the handle is a great length for me. It's not too long, not too short. It's chunky. That's what a great thing is about it. Chunky with knurling. It makes it super easy to hold on to. Aggressiveness is like to me, a Gillette Tech or a Super Speed. Pretty mild. Doesn't bother me one bit. You know, if I have to make a couple of extra strokes, well, that's it. I'm not, that doesn't bother me. I like the mildness. I like the way it feels in my hand. It's only $20, so and we have that. I gotta go with the green here. Razor Company Unbreakable Lather Bowl, very nice with the ridges. Here's the soap inside. Soft enough that it spreads really well in here. Okay, and I used my Razor Company little soap scooper. And I love this thing. You'll find that online at the Razor Company for about $6. Okay, really good investment. It works really well. I have soaking my Lather Beast, the Omega. I forgot what model this is, but it's the Pro with the black handle. Unmistakably, this thing, nice high loft. This creates lather like no one's business. I have that, keep it soaking in there for a couple of minutes. And then afterwards, talking about going green again, we're going to do a head shave, a quick head shave. I have the Lockhart's Proof, which is basically the benchmark proof. It's colored, of course, and branded with the Lockhart name on there and a little logo here, yeah, I guess on the bottom, but it does have the ridges as opposed to the benchmark proof that doesn't have ridges. Okay, I don't know if they have any of these left, $79, but yeah, I like it. So, all right, what's next? Well, we're gonna wet the face because we already washed our face and head really well with some good artisan soap. We'll just wet it down again, do the lather. We'll talk about the gear that we're using, and then yeah, here we go. So I like to use hot water and soap to cleanse the face, hot as I can take it, which is pretty hot. So like, we're gonna take our brush, gently squeeze the water, and we'll shake to get, so it's just a damp brush. We're gonna make our paste, and so we'll then add water slowly to it. So I'm not adding a bunch at a time. Okay, so we're just doing that, working it in. So most of it is up off the bowl into the brush and on the sides of the bowl, of course. So this is, most times with this is what you wind up with. A little bit of soap on the bottom, and we're just gonna, now you can do that out of the faucet, or I have the bowl that I soaked my brush in. Just dunk the tips in here. That works too. So we'll do that. Usually I do it off the sink, but all right, so slowly, this can take a lot of water, this soap, which is a good thing. We're just gonna whip it up. I usually take about a couple of minutes, minute and a half, 2 minutes to get it to where I want it to be. Just adding water slowly, because it's hard if you overhydrate. The only recourse you have is to put more product in, and I have plenty here, so not a big thing. I'm sure to have enough soap for, 2-3 passes at least, and then a couple passes on my head. On my face, I have 2 days growth. Same with my head. So, all right, so here we go. And a lot in the brush. So we're gonna lather it up here. Now today, being the 26th, I think, of April, they had the Maggards meetup in Adrian, Michigan, and about 75 miles away tomorrow, they have the Razor Company meetup. One of these years, hopefully, maybe try to do it next year. I can make the trip. That would be a really great thing to do. To see everybody that I've done business with, online and person already, everybody. A lot of people I haven't met before, but done business with, like I say, over the last 11 years time. Been doing business with Maggards for, since 2014. That's 11 years. Razor Company over the last, I think February 2021. So, wow. Has it been 4 years already? Time flies. All right. So this is, what a lather this thing is. I mean, this, absolutely fantastic, creamy, dense, everything you want in the lather, slickness, everything. Scent is there. It's about a medium, maybe a tick more, but it's perfect scent strength on here. And wow. So highly impressed. All right. So we're just gonna heat up our blade here. Get nice and hot. All right. And then we'll do our first pass with the grain. All right, so here we go. And it's just a joy. If you want a quick shave, very easy, you just pop the blade in, super smooth. Love this blade, this Rise blade. I didn't know it existed before I saw it at the razor company, and I said, let me give this a try. Glad I did. I gotta say, they have one of the most extensive number of blade choices, brands of blade and all that you can possibly want. You could put together one hell of a sampler pack if you wanted to. All right. Very mild, but very comfortable. Absolutely. So, nice and easy. You can hear the feedback, right? I think you can. I can. Pretty cool. So, right? You have to be as careful as you can be, but you don't have to. It's not like a shavette where you have to be totally on point. If you're in a hurry, you can do a one-pass shave with this, a socially acceptable one, and you're good. But, today we'll do the whole deal. You don't have to press. You just lay the razor on your face. It has decent weight, but not heavy. If this were stainless steel, guys, it feels like it's a combination of maybe zinc and aluminum or something. It's not stainless. If this were stainless steel, it would be way too heavy for me. But it's not. That's the other thing. But has enough weight to do the job, for sure. It's easy to hold on to, even with wet hands. And the thickness of the handle really helps lessen fatigue. Why am I saying that? If this were like a thin handle, like the Gillettes, I love the Gillettes, but I tend to grip it and your hand mine will cramp because I'm gripping it really hard for some reason. But since this is thicker, it's a lot easier for me just to relax, and I know because of the decent knurling, it's not going to slip. So I will always want to give you the reason why. For me to just say something and not back it up, I don't believe in that. It's like my job. Whatever I do as an inspector, I have to have evidence, real evidence, to back things up. In my line of work, there's no such thing as I feel. No one cares about what you feel. When it comes to making your case, prosecuting a case, you need that hard evidence there. All right, so sorry for that. That's the inspector and me saying that. And you say, what? So inspector, for those of you who don't know, is not just, a name picked randomly. It's what I do for a living. So do I do police work? Not quite. Solid waste enforcement. And you say, well, why do you need solid waste enforcement? Because in New Jersey, some counties have what we call waste flow. That means if it's produced in the county, I'm in Union County in New Jersey, all the waste that's produced there has to go to an assigned, approved transfer station to be recycled, properly disposed of, etc. Okay, non-hazardous waste. We're not talking about asbestos. That gets shipped out of state. Okay, we don't deal with that. Talking about construction sites, residential, commercial, and your basic, what we call type 10 household garbage, whether it comes from a commercial site or residential site. So that's as far as I'll go into explaining that. All right. You have any more questions? Yeah, drop me a line. Okay. So while we were talking about that, we lathered up, and we'll do our second pass after heating up the razor once again. And yeah, I can probably stretch this blade one more, but I think this is, 2 shaves with this blade is good enough for me. I'm happy with that. It's not as sharp as my Perma-Sharps, but it's very smooth, and it does a nice job for 2 shaves, definitely. And that's what I've come to learn about this particular blade. Mostly all my other blades, my sharp ones like Perma-Sharp and Platinum, Gillette Platinums, 3, and I'm good with that. Can I go with, 3 shaves with this? Probably. But you know what? Guys, don't stretch your blades. That's another thing. They're cheap enough so that you really, don't do that. You don't have to, okay? Most blades are in a range between maybe 5 and 15 cents a piece. Most of them. All right, so if they're 20 cents a piece, approaching high end. There are actually others that are more like per 100 pack, they're $30, and that's 90% of the high end right there. But most of them aren't like that, okay? So I'm just gonna cross here. This is, right here is against for me. So I'll do that and then go straight up with it. And just letting it go on my face until I don't hear any whiskers being cut, no longer being cut. All right, that's about it right there. So this would be a great beginner razor, or doesn't matter. If you're a pro or a novice, what works, works. And I think this does in spades. So I'm going to come across here to get that, and then come straight up. So I'm going to do a combination here. What I'm doing is hitting all the angles stretching my skin like that to get on a flat surface as much as possible and exposing the hair that's above my skin. So serves two purposes. Nice, very good. All right, we'll do the other side. I'll come across a little bit here. Make sure I got that. I'm gonna add some more lather. Why not? Let's use it. Nice. Oh, that smells so green. We're gonna buff. I had that cleft in here, so I'm gonna stretch it out to get that flat as I can, especially there. For those of you who have that. Gene related. So that's really nice here. All right, now I'm going to sweep across the bottom. You know what? So you see the lather getting a little thin, and what I'm going to do is just dip it and re-agitate it because it will dry out a little bit, and you'll see it just comes to life again. See that? Look at that. Little bit of water, bam, right back. Right back, all right? I'm gonna come right across the bottom here. This is the most sensitive area of my face. So I'm gonna do a cross hatch here and make sure that I get everything. Now I don't sweep across here because I'm afraid of cutting my lip. Knowing me, that's what I do. All right, so we're gonna do this mustache area now. And I'm just gonna buff, take the edge of that blade, like I like to do, and hit that corner. It's a lot easier to do than going straight on in the middle of the head like this, okay? It's harder. You hit the edge like that, you get it with no problem. All right, so doing that, make sure I get the bottom here because that grows in a couple of directions. So I'm going to do that until I hear nothing. No more feedback. No more whiskers being cut. That's good. Well, I do a lot of strokes, and I do more than most. I try not to go too heavy on my strokes. No pressing, because what will that do? That'll give me weepers. And while it's not the end of the world, if you do it nice and lightly, you shouldn't get weepers. Or sometimes if you make too many strokes, I'll find that I'll get weepers also because of that. So here I'm going across, and then getting that bottom edge really well. This side is a lot more difficult. It's not difficult, but it's seems like it's growing in different directions, a little coarser. Come across the bottom. All right, we're good. That's it. Once you hit to the point, you have to know what your face can take. All right, so it was a good, really good face shape. And what we'll do now is we'll just rinse off really well. If there's any spots that need touch up, there's plenty of slickness. I can just, right, just go lightly across like that. Given that it's a mild razor, sometimes you may have to do that, but that's all right for me. And I have to really rinse really well, guys, because that soap is just so darn slick. It's unreal. This is really online Zingariman with performance. It reminds me so much of A&E, Peter Sharkalis's brand, the way it performs. Seriously. No, I don't get paid to say that, of course. All right, well, put some Thayer's cucumber mist on the face. A continuous sprayer. We'll use that on the head after that for our head shave. So you're gonna wet the head and start lathering up. So you guys know from past seeing me here on Razor Company YouTube channel and my own that I only use pivoting razor heads for head shaves. All right, so Lockhart's Proof is definitely one of those. Okay, we have the spring loaded here and the magnetic cap. We'll go front to back first pass. All right, so just don't need to press, just lay it flat and let the head do its thing. Let it pivot, engage the pivot. This is not a DE, so you just lay flat and just roll it right down, and that let the pivoting head do the work for you. That's what it was designed to do. This is a really great job. Very mild, but I think very effective for me. Some people think these razors are too mild, whether it be for their head or their face, but I don't feel that way. The Subi version, the Subi X, is a little bit more just a tad more aggressive. Thing with the Subi X is that it has a different ergonomic handle, and also you can interchange the top cap, which would give you a different shave, which I think is really ingenious. A good development. I think that's a good thing to do with your razor brand. Only bottom line, the only bad thing is I don't think they're going to be producing any more Subi X's, but I think they're coming out with a stainless steel version of the Proof. So you guys who say, well, it's too light for you, which I love aluminum, so it doesn't affect me, but they have that stainless. Also, they have a brass version also that's available now. I think that's about $220. The regular Proofs, I think the Select is about 125, I think now. 125, 130, something like that. All right, so we're gonna sweep across, do a cross hatch on the back. on the back side. Just gonna overlap, same thing, keep it, laying it flat and just coming across. And I do hear some whiskers or hairs on my head being cut. I don't think you can call it whiskers if it's on the head. Never thought about that before. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rinse, I'm gonna relather the back and then go from back to front. Get that blade heated up again, turn off the water. I know you guys don't want to hear that. I don't like it either. And we're just gonna go against the grain here, you can pull your ear back and make sure you get behind the ear. All right, and just come straight up the back, overlapping. Once you have done this enough, you don't need things like mirrors or nothing. You're going by feel on your head. Those of you guys who've been doing it, you know what I'm talking about. So for those of you guys who are on the fence about shaving your head, don't be. Once you do it, you'll be glad that you did. CBD went through it. Now, you say, Inspector, why do you shave your head? You know, you can just grow it out. Yeah, but it's so low maintenance that, you know what? It just, for me, it's a great thing. I don't think I've paid for a haircut since the 90s, I want to say. It's been, I want to say 94-ish? Yeah, something like that. That's, 31 years ago? Oh my God. Yeah, I just turned 60 in March and I'm like, how did this happen? How did this happen? You know, when I was 18, I didn't think I'd last this long. You know, I thought 1983, the year 2000 was just, I'll be 35 and now I'm 60. Oh my God. You guys know what I'm talking about. So, anyhow, I had a perma-sharp in this. With these proofs, I like to use the sharpest one I have because it's a mild blade. You want something really sharp or really smooth. Perma-sharp for me is, you know, it's hard to beat. It's hard to find a blade in the shaving world that is almost universally loved like a perma-sharp is. Just saying, that's just been my experience. Every time you bring up a perma-sharp, I don't remember someone saying, I don't like this, you know. I don't know why, but it just hits all cylinders for, yeah, maybe 95% of guys out there. So, all right, we'll rinse off the head. Again, grade A scent, grade A slickness. It's hard to imagine wanting anything more in a shave soap. I just can't imagine it, guys. That's just me. All right. So, yeah. Zingariman, the magician. Very green, very awesome. I'd recommend it highly. Okay. Yeah, after the shower, we're gonna put some splash on the face, a little bit on the head. All right. For that, we're gonna finish off with some layers on the head. With my continuous sprayer, cucumber mist, and it is awesome. It is just total awesomeness. Yeah, can pick up the very awesome TRC twist to open. Very mild, but very great feeling razor. Not too heavy, not too light. Nice handle length, decent knurling, nice handle girth to hold on to. Did the Lockhart X-Proof, okay, with the ridges for a head shave. Yeah, our Omega brush, our Unbreakable TRC leather bowl, keeping it neon green. And hey, until next time, guys, I'm the Inspector Dave Fernicola. On behalf of TRC, we wish you a great weekend. Those of you who are going to the meetup tomorrow, I wish I was there. Maybe next year. I'm going to see if I can make a go of it. All right. But anyhow, we will see you soon for another video. Have a great one, guys. Take care.